Monday, April 22. The Unmarried Life. A young woman told of the advantages of not being married. Twice I had the opportunity to go serve in the mission field, and I responded without any hesitation. A married person with a family might have had to take a little more time making that decision, because it doesn't just involve them, but also their spouse and children. Question: what are, according to Paul, good reasons for remaining unmarried? 1 Corinthians 7:25-34. Now, concerning virgins, I have no commandment from the Lord, yet I give judgment as one whom the Lord in his mercy has made trustworthy. I suppose, therefore, that this is good because of the present distress, that it is good for a man to remain as he is. Are you bound to a wife? Do you seek to be loosed? Are you loosed from a wife? Do not seek a wife, but even if you do marry, you have not sinned, and if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such will have trouble in the flesh, but I would spare you. But this I say, brethren, the time is short, so that from now on even those who have wives should be as though they had none, those who weep as though they did not weep, those who rejoice as though they did not rejoice, those who buy as though they did not possess, and those who use this world as not misusing it, for the form of this world is passing away. But I want you to be without care. He who is unmarried cares for the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he who is married cares about the things of the world, how he may please his wife. There is a difference between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cares about the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she who is married cares about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. Most people think that being married is God's will for them. Didn't he say, "It is not good that man should be alone"? And yet we have many examples in the Bible of people who were not married, including the greatest example of all, Jesus Christ. Jeremiah was told not to marry. We read this in Jeremiah 16, verses 1-3. The word of the Lord also came to me, saying, "You shall not take a wife, nor shall you have sons or daughters in this place. For thus says the Lord concerning the sons and daughters who are born in this place, and concerning their mothers who bore them, and their fathers who begot them in this land." It was a judgment on the historical situation. We don't know if that restriction was ever removed, but it is clear that Jeremiah was a great prophet while he was single. Ezekiel's wife died suddenly. God took away this important person in his life to convey a hard lesson about the situation of his people. He was not even allowed to mourn, but was to continue on with the ministry the Lord had assigned him, as we read in Ezekiel 24, verses 15-18. Also the word of the Lord came to me, saying, "Son of man, behold, I take away from you the desire of your eyes with one stroke. Yet you shall neither mourn nor weep, nor shall your tears run down. Sigh in silence, make no mourning for the dead, bind your turban on your head, and put your sandals on your feet. Do not cover your lips, and do not eat man's bread of sorrow." So I spoke to the people in the morning, and at evening my wife died, and the next morning I did as I was commanded. The prophet Hosea also experienced a broken marriage, but was able to continue in ministry. While the story seems strange to us, God told him to go marry a prostitute whom God knew would leave Hosea for other men, and that story is found in Hosea chapter 1, 2, and 3. Looking back, we can see God trying to illustrate the one-sided love that he has for Israel and for us. But it must have been extremely hard and painful for Hosea to be the object lesson. In each of these examples, marital status was not an issue. God was interested in the person's integrity, obedience, and ability to say what God wanted him to say. We need to be sure that our life is not defined by our marital condition. Many voices today will tell us that unless we are married, we are not complete. Paul would respond, "Don't be like the people in this world. Instead, offer your bodies to him as a living sacrifice, pure and pleasing." That's Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. So to finish the day, what are practical ways you can minister to those who are unmarried, both church members and non-church members? You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide by Dr. Percy Harold from Queensland, Australia. This service is brought to you by Hope Channel, the Sabbath School Department, and Christian Services for the Blind. Remember, God is always faithful.